Tao. John, I think that the objective here is to bring the war to the Russian people, and particularly those in Moscow, and these are presumably Ukrainian-produced drones. They are targeting, according to individuals with whom I have spoken, in fact, 7 weeks ago in Kiev, legitimate military targets. And they don't always end up hitting those, and the air defense can end up hitting those, and the Russian ethnic forces that are operating from Ukraine into Russia, and the Legion and so forth. Be it what they are trying to do with the war going on, is that it can have an impact on them. And ideally, it is going well for the Russians on the battlefield, and distracting them to the degree to impact the assets on their own soil and ministries of defense and so forth that cannot be used, therefore, on the battlefield of Ukraine. What more could the Ukrainians be doing along this front? I think they need to be doing what they are actually now doing, having adapted the plan, and of course, no plan is going survive battles with the dragon's teeth full of Russian soldiers on watch through the observers of the drones, and there is going to be very difficult watch through the assets that we would have deployed in this type of assets that we would have deployed. We would have carpet-bombed entire area, and then G9 bulldozers, and just plowed through this, and supported with close air support and close helicopter attackers. Now they don't have these, and they have cleared more than 700 miles, which is far more than the Russians have achieved in the first few months of the fall-winter offensive. But what they are doing now is described well of the Chief of Defense in the UK describes it as a star, serve, and strife. So it is to starve from the front lines of Ukraine, and you do it across the front of across a 600-mile front, which is more than the distance of Kuwait to Baghdad, and you stretch and engineers and so forth, and you have opportunity, you press forward the tanks and the other fighting vehicles provided by the West. But again, they won't bring to bear the combined arms operations capabilities that they now do have, until they can get a breakthrough and force the Russians to move when they can break out. And indeed, one of the critical elements of this fall offensive by Ukraine is that they have to achieve significant progress, and they know it is the key of whether the Russian forces can hold up. They have been on the line for over a year, and they are not rotating the forces the way that the Ukrainian, or might it be more than just local, is going to be a very important factor if they achieves the success that we are all watching closely.